was talking you up to somebody. Jim Reynolds. You're a camera guy? He's content. He's good. Yeah, he's good. Patricia. They're at least a year out. It's out there right now.
What do you use that like work?
Yes.
Two agendas.
You got a presentation. Happy to do it. Man, they don't lock the gate enough. Yes. How are you? Five minutes. That was a lot. Yeah. Got a big meeting. Yes.
We're gonna rock it. We're gonna rock through it too.
Chip's been having much success there, but I have asked the maintenance to install shock here. But so it's part of the IT upgrades. Invocation, then you. Yeah, that's right. Oh, please. You've been working out more than that. Golf swings in.
I don't know about that. Baker done throwing stuff over here on my side.
Gentlemen, if you'd find your seats, please, so we can get started. All right, we're going to call to order our recess meeting of April 1st, 2026. Madam Clerk, roll call. He is here.
Commissioner Beck, Commissioner Chauncey, Commissioner Eversole,
Here.
Commissioner Graham, Commissioner Helton, Dr. Highlander,
Here.
Dr. Mackey,
Here.
Commissioner Sharp,
He's here.
Commissioner Shipley,
Here.
Chairman Smith.
Here. All right, our invocation and pledge will be by Commissioner Shipley. Please rise.
This time I'd ask Pastor Scott McCurdy, Church of the Highlands.
Let's look to the Lord in prayer. Heavenly Father, we bow before you today. Lord, thankful for the privilege and the wonderful blessing to be able to live in the United States of America in Hamilton County. Lord, we thank you for all of your blessings and your goodness, your grace, and your mercy toward us. And Lord, we come before you humbly today, acknowledging our desperate dependence upon you. Lord, we ask you that you would help us, that you'd strengthen us, that you'd bless our country, bless our county, bless each person that's serving here on this commission. And Lord, we think of our first responders throughout our county and those who are serving in that capacity. Ask you to bless them. Think about our troops today that are in harm's way all around the world. We lift them up to you. And God, now we ask your blessing on this meeting time. We look to you for wisdom. We thank you for each one of these commissioners, their families. Pray you'd have your hand of blessing upon them. You'd guide them, direct them in the center of your will, and use them for your glory. We ask this all in the name of the risen Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Face flag, proper salute, pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we do have two presentations this evening. Starting off, Commissioner Helton, do you want to do the honors of introducing our first presentation, sir?
Thank you, Chairman. This evening, I'd like to honor a lady who's given her entire career to Hamilton County, serving the citizens and making things run more efficiently, Mrs. Susan Bedwell. There's nobody in this room who could describe her work and accomplishments better than Trustee Hollander, and I'd like to invite him up here to talk about her.
Let's get her up here too. Where's she at? Did she show up? Come on up, Susan. We're so glad that a lot of her friends and family showed up today. I want to kind of reminisce a little bit. April of the 1st, 1976, 50 years ago today, Susan came to work for Hamilton County. Let's look back in 1976. We all remember it was a bicentennial year. Seemed like a long time ago, didn't it? Apple Computer were founded. Howard Hughes died. The first woman was inducted into the United States Naval Academy. And bringing it a little closer home, April of 1976, the Lookouts returned to Ingalls Stadium. Mayor Want was not born. But, I brought, Susan's been cleaning out our vault down there, Chairman. This was one of the, we get tickled when we see this. We all remember this. If you're a baby boomer, go to the bank and they put your deposit in it and they initial it and they stamp it. Susan's been collecting them. I brought one up today. But I looked and on April the 1st, 1977, the deposit they made that day, yesterday we did 7 times that. So it's a great thing. I also looked, I keep phone records. The last week of February, the chief of staff in the trustee's office answered 418 phone calls that week. And the big thing I want to say about Susan, there's a lot I can say about her, but she's been in that office 50 years and she has never had a complaint on her. Never. That's top legacy. Susan gets there early every morning before 8 o'clock, And sometimes, thanks to y'all, with a thing called pilot, Susan leaves at 8 o'clock at night. But Susan does the pilots, and she does a great job of that with a lot of other stuff. I'd like for all of our co-workers to stand that's worked with Susan all these years, all the group that came up, stand up. This is the folks in the trustee's office that was able to stay. Now I want all of her family to stand up. I'm not going to try to call all the names out, but we appreciate her mom, her husband being here, and children. And her pastor is here. Thank you for him being here too. Thank you for that so much. But Susan has been a great employee. She's became a very close friend. Me and her and a couple other ladies they'll let me tag along for lunch someday. And we got to go today, and she gave me half of her key lime pie from the boathouse. But so we thank so much of her and her family. She's done a great job. Next Tuesday will be her last day. But as I said, 50 years ago today was when she started. And I know that she's got a long speech wrote out, so I'll shush. Hey, will you read read this into the minutes if you don't mind? Thank you so much for doing that.
Hamilton County, Tennessee Board of Commissioners offers its congratulations to Susan Bedwell Jordan. Susan Bedwell Jordan began her career with the Hamilton County Trustee's Office on April 1st, 1976, at the age of 17. After completing her senior credits at Brainerd High School, she went directly into public service. Encouraged by her uncle, Bill Knowles, she was given the opportunity to begin what would become an extraordinary career. Over the course of 50 years, Susan faithfully served under 3 trustees, Bill Nobles, Carl Levi, and Bill Hollander. Throughout her tenure, she worked in every division of the trustee's office, including delinquent tax, tax relief, and accounting. Susan's dedication, knowledge, and leadership have made a lasting impact on the trustee's office. Many of the technical, procedural, and customer-focused improvements implemented over the years were guided by her expertise and commitment to excellence. Her colleagues across county government will greatly miss her presence, but we celebrate her remarkable career and wish her all the best as she begins this exciting new chapter. Whereas such excellence deserves public acclaim and recognition, now, therefore, be it resolved by the County of Hamilton that this certificate of congratulations be conferred, presented this first day of April, 2026.
Mayor Watt, will you come over with us, please?
Well, Mr. Hollander asked if I want to say anything. The truth is, I wasn't born 10 years after 1976. I will say I've had an incredible time learning from folks like you who have built an employee culture that spans different constitutional offices, general government, and it's one of the strongest employee cultures of any entity in our community, and that it is county government is really a testament to all the different officials and staffs who've built that, and we're just really grateful for you for the work that you've done. People are cynical about government, and it's people like you who've committed your life to doing the work and operating in a respectful way that I think we slowly can earn people's trust back. So thank you for your work.
Susan?
I don't have much to say. I just want to say thank you. What an honor this is. Never dreamed in a million years I would be standing here 50 years later. Lived a whole lifetime here in the county courthouse. But I appreciate it. I've had the last 15 years, that's what's made it easy to stay and hard to leave. Having such a wonderful boss with a servant's heart, and he brings it into the courthouse every day. I'm just so thankful for that. I'm thankful for God placing me in this position. Bringing my family, my friends, it's just an honor. And thank you for taking the time, and thank you for taking the time to honor me today.
Hey, we need to get a picture, Susan, the mayor. I was going to say too, we kind of kid Susan. She kind of told me this one time when she came to work. She was wanting to work long enough to get her a car in 1976. And she's had about 3 since I've been with her. Frank, will you come and join us, please?
Incredible, huh?
All right, we'll move on to our second presentation. Will be given by the Chattanooga Tourism Company. Who do we have? And good afternoon or evening now.
Good evening. I'm not sure who I've made angry to have to follow that and try to hold attention and enthusiasm. Thank you so much for your service to our county. My name is Susan Harris. I am the interim CEO for the Chattanooga Tourism Company, and I am here today to share with you the results of our sports facilities study. And as a reminder, that is one of the research studies that we have been able to take advantage of funding from the Tennessee Department of Tourist Development through some of their ARPA funding to help great partners like you and others make good decisions about the tourism assets in our community. The study looked at the opportunity in our community for tournament-ready facilities and venues across our county. And we're excited to present those results to you. As you know, our work is to bring more people here to the community, to bring visitors to come here. And we do that by marketing our destination, and we do that by recruiting meetings, events, and other groups to come here. And all those groups are incredibly important to our community, and the facilities that we have support that. And that's why we are so committed to have this study be a collaborative process across the community. You all know that because you are some of the stakeholders who were included in that process. But we did site visits to 16 different local venues as part of the process. We talked to hundreds of our sports clients to get their feedback specifically. We had multiple stakeholder sessions, again, including you. Thank you for your input. The county mayor's office, the Parks and Rec division here from the county, city council, the Chattanooga Parks and Rec as well. We talked to folks at East Ridge. We worked with our partners with the Sports and Events Corporation and other local planning groups, and even some of our local foundations who are interested in our community development. Sports venues drive economic growth, and that positively impacts our residents. They provide recreational access, home for youth sports programs, and typically, even though our out-of-town visitors use these venues on the weekends, our residents have the opportunity to use upgraded facilities through the week. So that piece of it really ties together the connection of how our tourism work impacts our local community. So let's talk a little bit, and we have our partners from Kemper Sports here with us, and he's going to dig into the details with you in just a second of the report. But let's talk a little bit about why the study revealed that we need investment in facilities right now. The biggest thing is that demand exceeds our capacity. I heard some of the budget hearing earlier. We talked about Chattanooga, Hamilton County is a great place that sporting events want to be. And we have more demand than we have capacity in current venues. And really, the industry continues to evolve. Our competition has large scale venues, much larger than what we have here in Hamilton County. And that really puts us at a competitive disadvantage with some of those cities against whom we compete for large scale youth events. Centralization also matters. You'll see in the study results that we leave with you that what our clients are looking for is hopefully a centralized venue, at most 1 or 2 locations, not where they have to spread out to multiple fields or recreational venues in order to host their event. And then makes sense, reliability increases that volume. So for outdoor events, turf, and I know Commissioner Shipley, this is a priority of yours, turf matters, right? Being able to host an event that is not weather dependent. Other things that matter, lighting, good spectator seating, other amenities for spectators. Some of these tournaments and events are day or days long affairs. And so how families and spectators can participate is important. Again, you know these things because you've helped make investments in Camp Jordan recently. So let me not let our time here today go by without saying thank you. Thank you for that. Those investments are important in our community. The ultimate goal of what we're trying to do with our study is to bring more visitors to Hamilton County. In 2024, the last year that the state of Tennessee released their data, we had a record-breaking economic impact of $1.8 billion based on out-of-town spending. Sporting events are a part of that, and we want to not just solidify what we have, but we want to continue to grow that. And so this opportunity to do that then also positively impacts our residents. Y'all don't want to hear from me. I'm going to turn it over to John DeMiglio, who is the Vice President of Operations for Kemper Sports, and they are the contractor that we worked with on this project. John?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for allowing us to be here to share some of the highlights of our findings from the feasibility study that the tourism company contracted us to conduct. My name is John DeMeglio. I'm the Vice President of Kemper Sports Venues Division. Kemper Sports is a facility operations and consultative services company based out of Northbrook, Illinois. We've been in business for almost 50 years at this point. We operate 250 facilities across 40 states and conduct at least 15 of these types of studies a year to help municipalities understand the economic impact, development opportunities, and/or opportunities inside of the realm of sports tourism. As we review the overall landscape of what you have in the community, there's a lot of great assets for sport, but the biggest gap we think there's an opportunity to address is a large indoor tourism facility, one that can house up to 12 basketball courts that can be converted into 24 volleyball courts, 36 pickleball courts. That is going to drive maximum participation for both visitors and events rights holders. In addition to that, it's going to give you the largest return on investment for the development cost from an overall perspective. One of the other areas that we looked to kind of take a glance at as we put the bigger, broader study together was also your multi-use sports fields. We see this as an opportunity in market as well. Currently, you have a number of long fields, as we call them. These are soccer type complexes or rectangle fields that can host soccer, field hockey, lacrosse, football, flag football. As Susan stated earlier, one of the keys for rights holders is being in a centralized location. And currently for those types of events, you'd have to go to multiple venues across the city. Barring the investments that have been made at Camp Jordan, which is becoming the anchor of sports tourism around the community right now with both improved lighting and turf assets. One area that we think could be a big benefit for the community would be to continue to invest in those areas from an outdoor perspective and the long field segment that will provide a different level of business opportunities along as recreational stay. As we continue to kind of look at the different landscapes, you have in excellent diamond sports complexes across the community. Those are tournament ready. I think the one area that we would continue to look at as far as diamond sports would be is development costs of 6 to 7 events for 8 to 12 turf fields as you continue to grow. At maturity, that has an opportunity for $8+ million in economic direct spend. And that doesn't count all the visitors as well as improved recreational assets for the local community and athletes. In the study, there's some additional considerations that we had put together. One would be making improvements to the Champion Center and making that a tourism destination, which is close to right now. There's just a few more assets that would need to be added to make that tournament ready. And then we did consider and provide some findings around an indoor ice facility. And the key component to that aspect of the study is you need a minimum of 2 sheets of ice to be able to be competitive in a tourism environment. And so as you read the full study, which is several hundred pages, we're just trying to hit the highlights today. Looking at what those considerations would be multiple sheets of ice for it to align with kind of the path forward. One thing that we wanted to explicitly share this evening is the opportunities for what happens next. Many times studies of this nature are commissioned and then there's no path forward. The next phases of the study that we think are super important would be after sharing with stakeholders and confirming priorities, the next step would be a detailed feasibility study and implementation plan. How do we take it into a actual budgetary environment for both cost of development? We would also look at site selection and potential opportunities of where a facility of this size and stature would go inside of your community and where the best impact would be. We would recommend that you start looking at developing your funding strategies and your capital stack. These are expensive facilities and they require a lot of capital investment, though the return is there in multiple different ways, both in direct spend, economic impact, and additional tax garnishments. And then redefine the development approach and how is it going to be developed? Is this a public-private partnership? Is it exclusively public funds? There's a number of different ways to get these facilities to fruition. But what we can tell you with absolute certainty is this market has a ton of latent demand. There's a significant opportunity to improve both tourism and local community use inside of the area, and finding the right indoor facility space that can host large tourism events that can generate over 1 million visitors a year at full maturity would makes all the sense in the world for the community. Thank you so much for allowing me to share just the high-level bullets of our presentation. We're welcome to answer any questions that anybody might have.
I don't know the lights yet, so I'll ask a few. Mr. Buligo, you said that you've got the detailed study to hand out, or is that something that can be emailed, or both?
We've got the summary, which is about 30 pages.
I don't want that. I want the 100 pages.
We have 30 pages today. And then if you want the 200 pages, we're happy to.
Absolutely, I do.
It has all the research methodology. It has the really exciting things. The summary is good, but the detailed one, we're happy to share with you.
All right. So Ms. Harris, you know, this is something that I've been pressing for probably 2 to 3 CEOs before you. And it is just now getting the level of attention I've been trying to get on it for a really long time.
Yes, sir.
So I appreciate finally getting to this point, having the discussion, having Kemper involved to really do a good look at it and study. Much of what was called out in this has already been done for some locations.
In a couple of places, and we're aware of that with the stakeholder investment. We do hear that question. There are multiple reasons why we did not move as quickly as we like. One of them, I think, is actually valuable to the findings that you have, is there are a couple of places where the study scope expanded and additional partners were identified or additional clients that we needed to spend some time with. So it is not 100%. So don't hear me. I'm not making that as an excuse, but there is a place where there was some value in some of that delay that I think you will see as being beneficial as you all consider your next steps.
That'd be great. And if both of them, both the summary and then the full detail, if you email it, it's much better than print for me.
Okay.
To be able to go through it, I'd really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right. See no further lights. Thank you.
Thank y'all very much. We appreciate your partnership.
Thank you so much for allowing me to be here.
Thank you. All right, moving on. We have minutes needing entered and recorded for March 11, 2026 recessed meeting, March 11, 2026 agenda meeting, March 18, 2026 regular meeting. What's the will of the commission? Got a motion by Commissioner Baker. I'll do the second by Commissioner Graham. Was that Eversol? Should have known it wasn't as loud as Baker. All right. Motion by Commissioner Eversol, second by Commissioner Graham. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Baker?
Yes.
Commissioner Beck?
Yeah.
Commissioner Chauncey?
Yes.
Commissioner Eversol?
Yes.
Commissioner Graham?
Yes.
Commissioner Helton?
Yes.
Dr. Highlander?
Yes.
Dr. Mackey?
Yes.
Commissioner Sharp?
Yes.
Commissioner Shipley?
Yes.
Chairman Smith?
Yes. All right, we have 5 reports, it looks like, Madam Clerk, to enter into the record.
Will do, Chairman.
Thank you. All right. We have 11 recessed agenda items. So, Madam Clerk, let's get started. 426-1, please.
Resolution 426-1, a resolution to approve and accept applications for notary public positions and the bonds and oaths of notaries previously elected.
I've got a motion by Commissioner Graham, second by Commissioner Highlander. Now let's roll call.
Commissioner Baker?
Yes.
Commissioner Beck?
Yes.
Commissioner Chauncey?
Yes.
Commissioner Eversol?
Yes.
Commissioner Graham?
Yes.
Commissioner Helton?
Yes.
Dr. Highlander?
Yes.
Dr. Mackey?
Yes.
Commissioner Sharp?
Yes.
Commissioner Shipley? Chairman Smith?
Yes, 426-1 passes. 426-2, please.
Resolution 426-2, a resolution to confirm the appointment of Mary Andrews and the reappointments of Skylar Phillips and Anthony Watkins to the Hamilton County Regional Health Council.
Motion approved. Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Graham. Was that second by Commissioner Beck? Second by Commissioner Beck. Now let's, no standing, roll call, please.
Commissioner Baker?
Yes.
Commissioner Beck?
Yes.
Commissioner Chauncey?
Yes.
Commissioner Eversol?
Yes.
Commissioner Graham?
Yes.
Commissioner Helton?
Yes.
Dr. Highlander?
Yes.
Dr. Mackey?
Yes.
Commissioner Sharp?
Yes.
Commissioner Shipley? Chairman Smith?
Yes. All right, Madam Clerk, without objection, will you please bundle 426-3 and 426-4?
Will do.
Resolution 426-3, a resolution to confirm the reappointment of Alice Canella by the county mayor to the Hamilton County Water and Wastewater Treatment Authority Board of Commissioners for a term ending April 7th, 2031. Resolution 426-4, a resolution to appoint one member to the Citizens Advisory Board for Recreation for a 2-year term beginning April 1st, 2026 and ending April 1st, 2028. This resolution will appoint Tom Marshall.
Motion approved.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Graham, second by Commissioner Highlander. No lights, no standing, roll call, please.
Commissioner Baker?
Yes.
Commissioner Beck? Commissioner Chauncey?
Yes.
Commissioner Eversol?
Yes.
Commissioner Graham?
Yes.
Commissioner Helton?
Yes.
Dr. Highlander?
Yes.
Dr. Mackey?
Yes.
Commissioner Sharp?
Yes.
Commissioner Shipley?
Yes.
Chairman Smith?
Yes, 426-3 and 426-4 passes. Madam Clerk, 426-5, please.
Resolution 426-5, a resolution authorizing the county mayor to sign a continuation contract between the Tennessee Department of Health and Hamilton County Health Department for the fiscal year April 1st, 2026 through March 31st, 2027, in an amount not to exceed $175,000 to provide medical case management to people infected with HIV/AIDS in accordance with the Department of Health's Ryan White Part B Core Medical Services.
Move for approval.
All right, got a motion by Commissioner Baker, second by Commissioner Graham. No lights, no standing, roll call, please.
Commissioner Baker?
Yes.
Commissioner Beck?
Yes.
Commissioner Chauncey?
Yes.
Commissioner Eversol?
Yes.
Commissioner Graham?
Yes.
Commissioner Helton?
Yes.
Dr. Highlander?
Yes.
Dr. Mackey?
Yes.
Commissioner Sharp?
Yes.
Commissioner Shipley? Chairman Smith?
Yes, 426-5 passes. 426-6, please.
Resolution 426-6, a resolution approving the purchase of one New Holland backhoe from Chattanooga Tractor and Equipment, Inc. from the Tennessee statewide contract amounting to $78,200 for the Parks and Recreation Department and authorizing the county mayor to sign any contracts necessary to implement this resolution.
I've got a motion by Commissioner Hilton, second by Commissioner Highlander. No lights, no standing, roll call, please.
Commissioner Baker?
Yes.
Commissioner Beck? Commissioner Chauncey?
Yes.
Commissioner Eversol?
Yes.
Commissioner Graham?
Yes.
Commissioner Helton?
Yes.
Dr. Highlander?
Yeah.
Dr. Mackey?
Yes.
Commissioner Sharp?
Yes.
Commissioner Shipley?
Yes.
Chairman Smith?
Yes, 426-6 passes. Madam Clerk, 426-7.
Resolution 426-7, a resolution approving the expenditure of funds in an amount not to exceed $500,000 for improvements at various recreation facilities, including, but not limited to, East Hamilton, Middle Valley, Shackleford Ridge, and Snow Hill for the Hamilton County Parks and Recreation Department, and authorizing the county mayor to sign any contracts necessary to implement this resolution.
Move to approve. Second.
I got a motion by Commissioner Highlander, second by Commissioner Beck. No lights, no standing, roll call, please.
Commissioner Baker?
Yes.
Commissioner Beck?
Yes.
Commissioner Chauncey?
Yes.
Commissioner Eversol?
Yes.
Commissioner Graham?
Yes.
Commissioner Helton?
Yes.
Dr. Highlander?
Yeah.
Dr. Mackey?
Yes.
Commissioner Sharp?
Yes.
Commissioner Shipley?
Yeah.
Chairman Smith?
Yes, 426-7 passes. Madam Clerk, 426-8, please.
Resolution 426-8, a resolution accepting the proposal from C.L. Burks from the Omnia Partners Public Sector Purchasing Corporative for the replacement of the existing roof at the McDaniel Building amounting to a total of $1,041,747 for the Hamilton County Facilities Maintenance Department and authorizing the county mayor to sign any contracts necessary to implement this resolution.
Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Helton, second by Commissioner Shipley. No lights, no one standing. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Baker?
Yes.
Commissioner Beck?
Yes.
Commissioner Chauncey?
Yes.
Commissioner Eversol?
Yes.
Commissioner Graham?
Yes.
Commissioner Helton?
Yes.
Dr. Highlander?
Yes.
Dr. Mackey?
Yes.
Commissioner Sharp?
Yes.
Commissioner Shipley?
Yes.
Chairman Smith?
Yes, 426-8 passes. Madam Clerk, without objection, please bundle 426-9 and 426-10.
Resolution 426-9, a resolution authorizing the county mayor to support and participate in an application for the Google.org Impact Challenge AI for Government Innovation for an amount of up to $3 million over 3 years, requiring no county match, and to sign any and all related documents. Resolution 426-10, a resolution authorizing the county mayor to submit an application for up to $1 million in CDBG funds for the construction of an ADA playground at McDonald Farm Park, and commit to providing 19% in local matching funds and any additional funding needed to complete the project.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Bluff, did you have anything you wanted to add to these? I saw you jump up. Nothing to add. The second one is just to submit the application, providing we actually get grant funds and it will come back to us for acceptance. Is that right? Okay. Just want to make sure that that was clear. Since it is a 19%, we would like to know how much. Okay. I've got a light. Commissioner Graham.
Mr. Chairman, that was kind of my question. So have we identified the 19% in case we do receive this?
2024, a bond money. It's in the recreation bucket.
Oh, it's already there?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Good, sir. All right. No further lights. Thank you.
We need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right. Got a motion by Commissioner Graham, second by Commissioner Shipley. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Baker?
Yes.
Commissioner Beck?
Yes.
Commissioner Chauncey?
Yes.
Commissioner Eversol?
Yes.
Commissioner Graham?
Yes.
Commissioner Helton?
Yes.
Dr. Highlander?
Yes.
Dr. Mackey?
Yes.
Commissioner Sharp?
Yes.
Commissioner Shipley?
Yes.
Chairman Smith?
Yes, 426-9 and 426-10 passes. Madam Clerk, 426-11, please.
Resolution 426-11, a resolution authorizing the county mayor to execute a memorandum of understanding between Hamilton County, Tennessee and the city of East Ridge in regards to field improvements at Camp Jordan.
Move to approve.
Thank you.
Second.
Who was the motion? Was that
Chauncey.
Chauncey? Sorry. All right, I had a motion by Commissioner Chauncey. Who ended up with the second?
Me.
Was that Helton? Thank you. All right, I've got a motion by Commissioner Chauncey, second by Commissioner Helton. Same question. This one, you might want to give us a little bit of background on this one, though.
Yes, sir. And East Ridge representatives are here if you wanted any particulars from them as well. Cameron McAllister, my equivalent for the city of East Ridge, is here. This is related to a disaster grant from the 2020 tornadoes. So we are getting rolling on that. We put it on the recess agenda because at this point, every day delayed is a burden for the city. And so we were hoping to move quickly on it because it's been 6 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Eversol.
Yeah, just a quick question. Thank you, Chairman, for Matt. Just a quick question, because this is some of the relief money we got from the use of standard for gap fields and stuff like that. Did we get standard for gap?
The standard for gap has not been approved yet. So there are multiple projects identified. There was 2 rounds. This is the first round. Camp Jordan was a part of that. Second round is the standard for gap project we're working on.
Okay, so it's not even been put in the hopper yet, so what's?
Well, I mean, we've all worked on this together. When you say put in the hopper, what do you mean?
Has it been applied for? Have we
Oh,
tried
yeah.
to get?
Oh, yeah, we're deep in a process. They went into the state at the same time. When Matt says that Camp Jordan was approved first, simply as a procedural matter, Camp Jordan, as well as a command vehicle for EMA that's already come before y'all, were approved first. And Bob White's probably the best person. I don't think Bob's here tonight, but Bob's probably the best person for you to follow up with for our best understanding as to why some
So
of
I need to
these-
follow up with Bob.
We can get you the best answer we have, but we didn't get a whole lot of clarity as to why some of the projects got approved first. But there's an amount of money that is a little north of $10 million that is Hamilton County share. We sent them an application that included standard for gap. We have only gotten indications that it will get approved. This does not come at the cost of that. So in other words, the request that we made for standard for gap is within the amount that's allocated to Hamilton County. We expect it will happen. This has all taken way too long and has been a really frustrating process for us. because the state finally approved some of the projects we've been working on, we went ahead and brought them to y'all. That doesn't mean that we're not working on the rest of them.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Good, sir.
I'm good.
All right. Anything to add? Good. I have somebody stand. Did you wish to make a comment on this item? No? Okay. Okay. Just, no, looks like we're good at this point. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioner Baker?
Yes.
Commissioner Beck?
Yes.
Commissioner Chauncey?
Yes.
Commissioner Eversol?
Yes.
Commissioner Graham?
Yes.
Commissioner Helton?
Yes.
Dr. Highlander?
Yeah.
Dr. Mackey?
Yes.
Commissioner Sharp?
Yes.
Commissioner Shipley? Chairman Smith?
Yes, 426-11 passes. That completes all of our items on the recessed agenda, which means we will move into announcements. Commissioner Shipley.
I did, I have a committee building economic development next Wednesday morning, 9:30 in the commission conference. Everybody that will be in there has been notified, so it's very important we do meet that day. So I'm announcing it. Time for it to be legal. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Baker?
No announcements.
Commissioner Mackey?
No announcements.
Commissioner Beck?
No announcements.
Commissioner Sharp?
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. I don't know, I guess I can make this an announcement. We have a recess agenda meeting today with 11 items on it. And I think there may have been more than this on our recess agenda that we received Monday afternoon. Is it our anticipation that this is something we can anticipate regularly on these Wednesday recess meetings?
This will be the last recess meeting we have.
Okay.
Ever.
Ever.
Unless we change our form back.
Okay. All right. Because that kind of takes me a little by surprise. I know that that's not the intention of a recess meeting. And if that were the case, I would say that we're going backwards with terms of transparency in the way we conduct these meetings.
Yeah, I had the same question as Commissioner, so I appreciate you bringing them up. The main reason is at the time that we changed it to 5 p.m. effective immediately, there wasn't a lot of notice to staff. And there were items that they had planned to have already been from last week, and we ended up not meeting. So it had to be voted on this week, but I do appreciate the
Yep.
the
Thank you
question.
for the explanation, Chairman.
Yes.
That's all.
Commissioner Helton?
No announcements.
Commissioner Chauncey?
No announcements.
Commissioner Highlander?
No announcements.
Commissioner Eversol?
Yes, one quick announcement. Thank you for the budget hearings today. Lee, your team still did a fantastic job. Appreciate that. Next 2 weeks from today, our budget hearings will not begin at 3. They will begin at 4 p.m. So an hour before our regular meeting. And we have Chattanooga Tourism and 911 Center will be two of the attendees at that budget hearing. So it'll be 4 p.m. So thank you, commissioners, those of you that participated in our budget hearing. Appreciate your support. I know your constituents do as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Graham?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This past few days, I've been really busy. I've been working in St. Elmo in the business district. We had a really good cleanup day. It was kind of weird and cold and windy Saturday, but we had a great turnout and we did a lot of good. We cleaned up the business district. And then a different cleanup day was Monday. We don't normally have them on a Monday, but there was a Monday cleanup day. And we were in Alton Park at the corners of Central Avenue and Doris Street. And there was about 20 of us there, and we cleaned up the park and all the surrounding areas, and we got a lot of garbage. We did a lot of good. So I want to just thank the volunteers that came out to both those cleanup days, and I look forward to working with them some more. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. Attorney Varnell?
Yes, there will be a legal meeting that is going to occur on April 15th. It will either immediately follow the budget hearing prior to the meeting, or it will begin shortly after the meeting is called.
Very well. Thank you. Mayor Walt?
Hey, I just wanted to quickly say a word of thanks to all of you, and particularly to Matt Foles and his team at Parks for, we're not finished yet, but the curation of this pocket park at the heart of Fountain Square that had fallen into disrepair, even here in National Park City, is something that we really cared about. Y'all have heard me talk about how we look at it out the window and think about how sad it was that it quit working. And we found historical images, and you may have seen on your way into the courthouse. If you came in on the other side and haven't seen it yet, there's now, how many bushes are out there? 150 bushes, creating the full hedge that was there historically. And then flowers are going in April. And it's just beautiful. It's like it's like it ought to be out there. And it reflects the quality of the courthouse grounds. And I'm just very proud of our team for having done that really well, because it may be the smallest park in town, but dollar for dollar, it's maybe one of the best, or square foot for square foot. Really proud of it. But thanks for y'all supporting that vision. And the cannon was reinstalled today. So if you haven't seen the cannon, it's got to be one of the only of those cannons, kids like me grew up thinking those things just were green back in the day, but this one's now been polished up, and you can see it in its its original form.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. All right, down to me. So Commissioner Sharp asked a question I was going to address here as well. Just to remind everybody, this is our first meeting at 5 p.m. and it is the first style meetings where we have the initial meeting is when we vote, which is what we just did. And to going through our process, when we adjourn that meeting, we will go into our regular agenda session to discuss items that we'll be voting on in 2 weeks. So if you're interested in those items, bear with us. We're about to the point where we'll discuss those items, and then we'll be voting on them in 2 weeks. So it's just a slightly different process we're all trying to get used to. So with that, we're going to move on to the public with any discussions they may have other than zoning. You'll have 3 minutes. If you wish to address us, please make your way up to the mic, up to the wall. Name and address for the record.
Okay, well, real quick, Monty Bell, the homeless journalist, the gray-haired fox man with the $1 trillion voice, 727 East 11th Street, which is right down the street from the Tommy Brown School, which is one of 5 schools that failed here last week. I'm not sure how you're doing your commentating at the end. I sat through a interesting budget section, and I want to know real quick, when it comes down to the budget and these marginalized schools, Black people in particularly, who's in charge of that budget committee? The reason that these schools continue to fail year after year, they're always put into some kind of budget with the police department, the fire department, some kind of park and recreation, and these kids continue to fail. Real quick, 30 years ago this month, I sued the city school system, which is why the county now has access to these kids. And I've been treated like an outsider trying to correct who's educating Black people. I've been attacked like I'm from Iran or somewhere, some country you all don't like. I was born and raised here. I can go right down to Erlanger Hospital and get my birth certificate. But you all seem to have some kind of fetish against education. And I want to know what it is. Again, I'm out of place because I haven't been here with your nightly meetings. Not much has changed since the horrible meetings you were having during the daytime. I'm tired of your police department, your county deputy departments. They're not educators. They seem to know very little about the rules of law. Proofs of which, if I have 3 minutes to come back after you get through with this, I want to tell you about a court proceeding that you've got right up the stairs here, 25C919. It has a grand budget total that you're behind in for $1.9 trillion for your fraud on the entire 11th Judicial District Court that's happening right now in the midst of 5 Black schools failing. And it's nothing. I've got 2 copies I picked up right here. Nothing about what are you going to spend on education for Black people? Nothing in the budget. I've got 2 pages. I've written on both of them. You can call it Googling it if you want to. Sports, recreation. There's nobody on this status. There's nobody on the Hamilton County Department, these police. There's nobody in the city that's in better shape than Monty Bale. I was a champion in 2 sports when I was in high school. If I can come back, we'll talk about the failing educational system.
Hi, my name is Arthur Krasinski. I'm at 317 Wygota Circle, Chattanooga, Tennessee, Joe Graham's district. I'm here today because we changed the meeting to 5 p.m. and I haven't been able to attend any other meetings but one. I took out work early last time I was here, and I'm super glad that you guys have made it more accessible for working Chattanoogans to be here. It's a lot easier to tell people no over text message, a little bit harder over phone, but in person, if you look me in the eyes and I ask you something, that has much more of an impact to all of you. So I greatly appreciate you guys making it more accessible. Another thing is, I know this is like a one-off where we have a recess meeting, but we had some things on here that were not a part of the agenda, I believe, until like 2 days ago. There's been no public comment on it, I don't think. And I was wondering if like that was on purpose or what was going on with that. But if we could make sure that all the agenda items have the ability for public comment, that would make it a lot better too, more transparent. And yeah, that's my comments.
Hi, good evening. Kathy Lennon, 401 Christmas Street. In listening to the tourism comments, I just kind of wanted to ask about, I'm a sport lover. I love sports. My husband was wrestler, my soccer, swimming for me, all of them. But does it ever talk about music? And I kind of would like to refer to Mr. Chip Baker on this one because he was instrumental in Riverbend Festival for so long. If I feel like that the live music is a vital part of our identity, our economy, and experience for people. And I don't ever hear us talk about that as far as can we plan some big music festivals or something like we used to do with Riverbend to bring that part back to our tourism. I think if I'm not, and I don't know what the numbers are, but I have a feeling that we brought in a lot of money from those Riverbend years. And I would just like to see that back on the table again. Thank you.
Hadrian Turner, 4006 Dearmont Court. I have this for the commissioner. Great. Good to see you all. First of all, I'd like to thank all of you that came and attended some of our events recently. We really appreciate it, and you as well. Unsurprisingly, I'm here to, on behalf of Safe Enterprise South Nature Park, in relation to something on the agenda session later, which is the potential purchase of the Boy Scouts of America parcel. On page 2 of the packet that you'll be getting, you will see that the parcel sits landlocked between Enterprise South Nature Park land and the railroad tracks. This means that in order to provide road access to the Boy Scouts parcel for anything other than recreation, those permanent protections would have to be lifted, which we've talked about at length in the past, on Enterprise Parkland. We know the public overwhelmingly does not want those protections lifted. And then on page 4 from the packet, you'll see a map from Terracon Consulting Services. Outlined in red is all of the protected parkland that was surveyed and considered as part of the land swap. And you can see that the Boy Scouts parcel is directly contiguous to the surveyed area of the park. Through public records requests, we have also discovered that the process to purchase the Boy Scouts parcel began when the land swap / industrialization proposal was still on the table. Since industrialization of the parkland is no longer on the table, then what is to become of this extra parcel that the county and the city are planning on purchasing? Given that the parcel is landlocked by protected parkland, the Regional Planning Commission has recommended that it be kept the way that it is, which is in its natural state. We think this is an excellent opportunity for the city and the county to add conserved land to an area that the community has already so overwhelmingly supported preserving. It's a chance to be proactive rather than reactive, and ride the momentum of several of the recent conservation victories in Hamilton County that have been received so positively. Thank you for listening. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions or any conversations you'd like to have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. All right, seeing no further public comment, no other business, we will adjourn our recess meeting of April 1st, and we will be going into our April 1st agenda session. Do we need to give you guys a pause for switching over? Just good to go? All right. Madam Clerk, we good?
Yes.
All right. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Baker,
Here.
Commissioner Beck.
Here.
Commissioner Chauncey.
Here.
Commissioner Eversol.
Here.
Commissioner Graham.
Here.
Commissioner Helton. Dr. Highlander. Dr. Mackey.
Here.
Commissioner Sharp.
Here.
Commissioner Shipley. Chairman Smith.
Here. All right, let's get into our resolutions. Madam Clerk, please read 426-12.
Resolution 426-12, a resolution to approve and accept applications for notary public positions, the bonds and oaths of notaries previously elected, and the oath of deputy sheriff.
All right, so we'll take that up next week. 426-13, please. 2 weeks, sorry. Still used to the next week.
Resolution 426-13, a resolution confirming the reappointments of County Commissioner Joe Graham, County Auditor Chris McCullough, Chief Financial Officer Lee Browner, County Attorney Janie Varnell, and County Clerk William Bill Knowles as members of the Hamilton County Ethics Committee for a one-year term beginning April 15th, 2026 and ending April 15th, 2027.
All right, take that up next meeting. 426-14, please.
Resolution 426-14, a resolution recognizing the accomplishment of Trevor Burney of Central High School in winning the 2026 Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association Class A Wrestling Championship and awarding funds from the Hamilton County Schools Champions Fund for the purchase of a championship ring.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We're going to pause for just 1 second. Commissioner Mackey, you had a late light there on 426-13. Do you have a comment, sir?
I did, Chair. The people on that previous committee were all Hamilton County official people. Are there any citizens going to be appointed to these boards?
I defer to county attorney on what the requirements are on that committee. I don't know for certain.
Our rules of ethics specify who sits on that committee, and that is who is being appointed.
Are the chickens guarding the hen house? Thank you, Chair.
I believe that I believe it's statutory who serves on county ethics committees, as in like I make a few appointments, but I get to pick like between constitutional officers, commissioners. I think the makeup is fixed by statute.
Ms. Varnell, just confirm that for us if you would. Thank you. Commissioner Sharp, do you have a question too, sir?
Chairman, I was just going to ask our attorney to confirm that for us. Thank you.
I might have known that. Thank you. All right, we just read 426-14. I see no lights for that. Madam Clerk, moving on to 426-15, please.
Resolution 426-15, a resolution recognizing the accomplishment of Braylon Cosper of Hickson High School in winning the 2026 Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association Wrestling Championship and awarding funds from the Hamilton County Schools Champions Fund for the purchase of a championship ring.
All right, thank you. No lights, moving on. Oh, I might have a light. Here, Commissioner Graham.
I'm not familiar with their win. Can you explain their win?
Commissioner Highlander, would you like to explain yours, sir? And then I'll be happy to.
Yes, sir. Mr. Burney was an individual state champion. It's either, I forgot, it was 220 or heavyweight. And if you have ever wrestled as I did, it's, I know Mr. Sharp wrestled, and I don't know if, and I think.
I wrestled for Lookout Valley.
You wrestled for Lookout Valley. So it's quite an accomplishment to win the state championship.
Yeah.
And those funds are for an individual champion as well as for a team. And I did check that out before I requested it.
Well, I just wanted to hear about the win. That's all.
Yeah, we're very proud of this young man for winning state championship at Central High School.
Yep, same thing, Commissioner. Individual state wrestling champion from Hickson High School. I consider this a dual win because we stole him from Saudi and put the championship over at Hickson High School. So thank you, Commissioner, down there on the end. But very proud of him and his accomplishment.
The whole state.
Mr. Mayor, do you have a comment on these, sir?
No. I'm up for the next one.
Up for the next one. All right. Madam Clerk, moving on. 426-16, please.
Resolution 426-16, a resolution of the Hamilton County Commission appropriating $250,000 to support the Urban League of Greater Chattanooga for workforce development, entrepreneurship, and youth programming in fiscal year 2026.
Mr. Mayor.
I'll lead off here, and Commissioner Beck, I'm sure will have some thoughts. A couple years ago, as our finance department was running the traps on and conducting oversight of ARPA funds, this body made a decision to reallocate some funds that had initially been allocated to the Urban League. I will tell you that the funds that were reallocated may be the best funds that this county commission has allocated to put a turf field at Howard High School. I'm not sure I have once driven by that turf field and not seen people of all ages playing soccer and just about every other field sport on it. And so we're very proud of that investment. However, it led to several conversations convened by Mr. Beck with leadership throughout our community, but particularly with the Urban League, about the decision-making process, about our desire to work with the Urban League. I never heard any lack of support for the Urban League, even during that process. We were simply trying to get the funds moving in a way that would impact the community. Mr. Beck and I made an offer to the previous leadership of the Urban League to bring before this body a proposal of county support that was aligned with the work that we are both doing together and where there's great alignment. We talked with their former leadership about their workforce development and entrepreneurship efforts. They chose not to take us up on that offer. Recently, a great leader in our community who formerly was with the Bethlehem Center, Dr. Reginald Smith, took over as the new Urban League CEO. Mr. Beck wanted to have a conversation that we had previously, again with new leadership. We sat down with Reggie and part of their team and had a very constructive conversation about the things they're doing to support students, workforce development. Entrepreneurship is particularly an area that the Urban League has shined. And so Commissioner Beck and I have been working together on this resolution, which would be funded out of the county's Economic Development Fund. I think, frankly, it's a very appropriate way to allocate economic development funds. Those are funds generated in a variety of different ways. Sometimes if we sell off assets, they'll end up in the Economic Development Fund. Pilots often have a portion of the tax revenue that is directed towards this fund. We think this is a very appropriate way. Mr. Beck will probably say it better than me, but it certainly seems to us like an appropriate way for the county and Urban League to reestablish a partnership. And so we come to you asking for your support and support of this great new leadership team at the Urban League. Mr. Beck.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. May I? Mr. Beck. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I do appreciate how we were able to circle those funds around to Howard Turf Field. That is my alma mater, and we were able to get that stadium built for Howard. And so it's almost completed. Everything is almost completed except for what the indoor sports center. But anyway, is Reggie, can they come up? Sure. Smith.
Chairman B.
Thank you, Reggie. When we had our meetings, I was so excited about how they laid out a tangible program where you could see some tangible results from what they proposed. And so in that excitement, I went to work. And thank you, Mr. Mayor, for considering putting our partnership back together with the Urban League. Reggie, go ahead and tell us a little bit about what you intend to do, please.
Okay, will do. All right. County Commission, I'm Dr. Reginald Floyd Smith II. I am President and CEO of the Urban League of Greater Chattanooga. As you all know, the Urban League of Greater Chattanooga has served the community for over 40 years, working to connect residents to employment, support small business growth, and provide young people access to services and programs to hopefully push them toward long-term success. The proposal that was laid out in front of the County Commission is something that we do, and we do really, really well. When the opportunity was availed to us to have that conversation regarding a possible partnership again with Hamilton County, we've in years past enjoyed a wonderful relationship with you all. And I truly believe that this is an opportunity for us to potentially, start back and restart that, conversation that we've had in that partnership for years.
Thank you.
You good, sir? Commissioner Mackey?
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Mayor, I know you know that there were some trying times when that money was taken from the Urban League before. And I am so appreciative of Commissioner Beck and yourself working together to help restore that relationship. And I must tell you, the leader of the Urban League he is top notch. He's going to do a lot of good for a lot of people. And I can just say, I applaud you, Ms. Mayor, Commissioner Beck, for helping to bring this forward. And I just hope our colleagues here support what you're trying to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Mackey. Just to clarify, do you all have in your packet the one-page breakdown of how these funds would be allocated by the Urban League? Okay.
Nope.
Well, we'll get that to you ASAP. We didn't know whether it was in the packet, but there's a thoughtful, it is collaborative approach between the Urban League and the county that was focused on what the county's already missionally focused on, aligned with Urban League programs that have proven successful. About 5 items, I think. And by the end of the evening, we'll make sure that it's emailed to all of you.
Commissioner Highlander?
Thank you, Chairman. I appreciate the mayor and Commissioner Beck working with Urban League and Howard High School, but I'd like to take a point of privilege for just a brief moment to thank George Littleman Ricks, who is a good friend of mine, that really pushed for the development of Howard High School. And I felt even before it came, he has always pushed and kept it in the foreground. And I wanted to mention his name as a person who's really behind this and kept it going. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Commissioner. But I wanted to mention Mr. Ricks, who is a dear friend of mine. Thank you.
Commissioner Graham?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Smith, thank you for your hard work at the Best Center. And you did amazing things there, and you're very much missed over there. We got a great leader too. Dr. Ware's doing a great job, and he's going to continue doing a great job. So although he's got big shoes to fill, you did an excellent job. And I'm proud to support this as well, because I think you're going to do some equally great things or even better at the Urban League. And I greatly appreciate you working with the mayor and this commission to rejoin that relationship. And I look for that relationship to last for many years. So thank you.
Good, sir.
I can go. I do have that breakdown. I can talk about in particular, if y'all had the time, of what those funds will actually be broken down and used for. Particularly, we are definitely focusing on maintaining the work that we've been doing around entrepreneurship and small business development, as well as expanding our workforce pipelines. You all understand, you all know the importance of making sure that we have a strong workforce here in Hamilton County. We want to be that partner with the county to continue the work that we're doing, to be able to ensure that we're training individuals to get back into some of those positions that are needing to be filled in Hamilton County. Something that's near and dear to my heart from both the Bethlehem Center standpoint, from when I was there, as well as working in Hamilton County schools. Young people are extremely important. We need to continue to focus on supporting those young people through the current programming that we offer, whether that is our Project Ready, whether that is our LEAPS program in elementary schools, but also looking at what the future could hold to expand those programs and hopefully get them into that, workforce pipeline, or get them into opportunities for post-secondary education. A really big part of this that I think is going to be really good for Hamilton County and the Urban League moving forward, we have a very large-scale event that is known as our Shoes for School initiative. That event is a very, large-scale opportunity for us to love on these young people as they get ready to go into Hamilton County schools and make sure that they're prepared, when school starts. What that might look like in the future could be a more advanced version of not just giving these young people shoes, which are very important. I know most people don't think that, well, what do shoes have to do with these children's education? A lot, right? These young people are going to be able to walk into those school buildings. They're going to feel the pride of having brand new shoes on their feet, but also we provide school supplies. We provide access to opportunities, as well as a really good event that they can show up to and feel proud of, to be a part of the Hamilton County community before going into schools. And as well as knowing the importance of being able to report back to you all on a regular basis, funds are in there to ensure we can report out to you all, and that we can make sure that there's a lot more transparency to be able to ensure that you see exactly what we're doing when we're doing it in real time.
All right, thank you, sir. I do see a few more lights, but I just want to say, Ms. Jeter, I see you standing back there. We don't do public comment during agenda session. All right, thank you. Commissioner Sharp.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Dr. Smith, I understand you put this together pretty quickly, this for this grant. I guess that's what we're calling it, a grant. But I know that workforce development is something that you guys do every day.
Yes, sir.
And I'll certainly be supportive of funding for the Urban League, as I was opposed to removing funding from the Urban League back 3 years ago. I have a couple questions though about this, and they're not, I don't believe that they're not for you, Mr. Smith, but I'm curious. The funding source of this is something I'm not familiar with. I was hoping to get a little more information about it. What do we call this again?
Well, the county maintains an economic development fund that is separate from the general fund. It's used for a variety of different reasons. We budgeted some of those funds at a modest level last year. Lee Browner can, as you can imagine, give you more clarity on the current status of that fund. But it's a robust fund that the county's maintained for
What division in
years.
the budget is this fund in?
Well, the fund is not self-budgeted. It is one of the funds, but we budgeted funds from this fund into the fiscal year 2026 budget.
Okay, so was this expenditure budgeted?
No, Lee can explain the difference in a budgeted and non-budgeted fund. These are funds that we draw from. For example, most of the budget that you all pass is from the general fund, but then we will include, for example, the hotel motel tax fund. And last year, on a couple specific items, we budgeted revenue out of the economic development fund. That's what we are seeking to do today, seeing that as the most proper funding source given the nature of the programs that the Urban League has proposed. And I'd also just say, you referenced this being put together quickly. This is work that the Urban League has done for some time, and we began this conversation quite some time ago. I could find you exactly when Commissioner Beck and I sat down with Urban League leadership, but I wouldn't describe this process as quick. It's been quite a collaborative process that got us to here.
That's a great point, and which leads to another question that I have. Due to the nature of the work, it does take time. And I'm curious, are there any timelines that these funds are placed within? Do they have to, does the Urban League, are they expected to expend these funds with any specific time period, or how is that?
I'll let Dr. Smith speak to their expected timeline. That is an opportunity for me to clarify why this wouldn't have been included in the annual budget process, which starts soon. We have had a separate conversation with Dr. Smith and other leaders at the Urban League about them coming back into the budget on a recurring basis. We have tried to make it a point on items that are one-time in nature, as this is, to time those separate from the budget so that there is not confusion. In fact, we have been unsuccessful in some cases in including items in the budget that we believe are one time. That organization took that to mean that they were recurring. And so there is a reason that we are here in April out ahead of budget season saying this is really meant to represent a partnership coming back together, a vote of confidence in these programs that are working, that the Urban League is doing. We also are having an ongoing conversation that will really be more of a fiscal year 28 conversation because they did not apply for this year's budget. But this allows us to begin to reestablish a robust partnership and have an ongoing conversation about recurring funding.
So is there a timeline placed on these funds to be used?
In my opinion, I trust the Urban League within the scope laid out that Dr. Smith just shared, that we'll share with you. It's a one-page document. I trust them to expend those resources in a timely manner. If this body would like for there to be a timeline applied, that's fine. I think that just given the amount of funds we're talking about, that was not a concern that I had. I felt like Dr. Smith and his team would do a good job of deploying the amount of resources that we're talking about here in a timely manner.
Dr. Smith, do you have a more specific answer for the commissioner?
There was not a timeline discussed for this. Okay. We're happy to adhere to any restrictions that the body that awards the funds would like to put on them, but that was not part of the original conversation, no.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear about that because it was mentioned a few years ago that, the Urban League had not used funds in an expected timeline as part of the reasoning for taking the funds back from them. So I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page, that if there's no timeline, then you guys can go at your pace. that you feel that funds can be best used for the programming that you have. So the reasoning for that is this economic development fund. And I guess, Chairman, this would be a question for Mr. Browner.
Sure.
How much money do we have in this fund?
Probably we could count on having a balance of about $1.1 million remaining after this resolution. And I believe there's another resolution coming up for spending funds from this fund. So we would have approximately 1.1 million. There could be more. We've passed a resolution for the sale of land at Enterprise South for Novonics. That sale has not closed. I think it's approximately $2.5 million we would receive if and when that sale closes. But right now, excluding that transaction, I would say $1.1 million is available.
Thank you, Lee. I appreciate that. Let me make sure to review my notes quickly. They're not quite in order as I've thought of them. Okay, I think that covers it. Chairman, thank you so much.
All right.
Gentlemen, thank you. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank you for the questions, Commissioner. All right, Madam Clerk, let's move on. 426-17, please.
Resolution 426-17, a resolution to amend Resolution 925-19, which included an allocation to the City of Red Bank for a park project and allow for a change in the approved community recreation project as requested by the City of Red Bank.
All right. Mr. Foltz, do you have something to add to this one, sir?
Yeah, just some context. So commission approved resolution for Leans to Communities grant for the City of Red Bank for the old Red Bank Middle School and for a basketball court at City Hall. Since that was approved, the city has shifted their priorities and are looking at a project on Dayton Boulevard. So they've asked us to amend the first resolution. The City of Red Bank, Martin Grantham, the city manager, is here if he has any questions or any follow-ups.
Commissioner Sharp?
Thank you, Chairman. Matt beat me to it. I wanted to recognize Mr. Grantham, who's the city manager for the City of Red Bank.
Sorry.
Matt, thank you. Hey, no worries. This is an exercise in the nimble nature of the City of Red Bank. And we have some budgetary restraints unexpected this past year. And this is Martin's wonderful execution of being able to move the budget around so that we can make sure that we're not going to miss out on any grant money there in the City of Red Bank. We continue to move the ball down the road with regard to the vision of our city. So I would appreciate your support. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Baker?
Martin. Yeah, there he is.
I see you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. Okay, Matt, just so to clarify for me, it was originally budgeted for what, or
So-
going to what, and now it's going to what?
It was going towards their former Red Bank Middle School, and they were building a basketball court at City Hall. So those projects, they have not asked for reimbursement funds yet. We haven't expended any dollars of the $250,000 that they were awarded for this grant. So they're asking to shift from that project to a property on Dayton Boulevard that is a higher priority for them from a Parks Department now.
To be used as what?
It's part of a land conversion that they're doing so they can go after more grants in the future. And
Martin, can I ask you to come up? May I, sir?
Please.
Okay, can you give us, shed a little more light on this? It was gonna go, I'm not sure what at the old middle school, because I was the one that actually arranged that transfer back in the day. What were you gonna do there at the old middle school?
So at the middle school, we have good evening, commissioners. We have a study ongoing right now. It's 12-acre parcel. We've had some preliminary studies engaging with the community about what they'd like to see in that site. And the original ask was for using some of that to continue that into concept development. We funded that separately. That's ongoing.
So it's developing a plan.
No, actually advancing the plan from a plan, the concepts that came out into about a 30% design, laying it out on the site. So it's moving from concept into preliminary design, basically around the site.
I'd still call that the plan. I mean, you're going from one step to the next to the plan. Would that be fair?
Right, that would be
Okay,
fair.
Okay,
That's not what we're going to spend the Leaning Into Communities grant for though now.
right.
We have a Park and Rec master plan, we have a Park and Rec advisory board, and we have a park manager. So in accordance with that plan, originally, the highest priority in terms of need was a basketball court. So we were originally came before this body and you approved using Leaning Into Communities for a basketball court, which was going to be right next door to City Hall, between our fire station and City Hall. Some ripples in the pond budget-wise. So we took a look at where we needed to spend our fund balance, and it turns out to leverage these funds the most is to redeploy it to get into compliance with the National Park Service. So that's why we have a 5-acre parcel of land on the north end of town, 4800 block of Dayton Boulevard. It's between B&B Discount and our fire station, approximate to the DMV up there. We have 5 acres of bare dirt land, and that's what this project would be used to fund a $500,000 initial investment in that, operationalize that park. That is intended to get us back into compliance with the National Park Service, which then opens up we've become competitive for all future grants.
Okay, so you're using it for a park.
Right, absolutely.
Been easy to say it that way. But thank you for letting me ask all the questions. I appreciate it.
Sorry if I give you the long
That's
story,
okay.
but yes, it's for a park.
Good, good, okay.
A new
That-
park.
That sounds pretty much in tune with what we've allocated these funds for.
Indeed. Now, I
Great.
would add that this is in an underserved area. We've
Oh.
done a study, a 10-minute walk to park, and generally the north end of Red Bank is underserved. So this is really going to move the needle in terms of physical access to a park amenity.
Good, sounds great. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. All right. No further lights. That is the last item that is committee of a whole. So we'll move on to committee assignments. Building and Economic Development, Commissioner Shipley, you have 6 resolutions. Public Safety, Commissioner Beck, you have 2 resolutions. Health and Human Services, Commissioner Baker, you have 2 resolutions. Finance and Budget Committee, Commissioner Eversole, you have 2 resolutions. And then Public Works and Zoning, Commissioner Highlander, you have 6 resolutions. Unless any of the chairs of those committees would like to
Yes,
go to the back
yes,
room
I
to
do.
have that meeting, I'll let them announce
do.
that in just a moment. We will do the committee assignments right here immediately following this meeting, once I adjourn. Commissioner, did I hear you would like to?
Yes, thank you. I believe we'd like to go to the back room. Health
Fine
and
by
Human
me.
Services.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Health and Human Services into the conference room immediately following agenda.
Yep.
And then the rest of the meetings will happen in the order I read them. Madam Clerk, did you have a question?
Chairman, yes, I just wanted to provide the commission with an update on the question that was asked earlier.
Oh, please.
Okay, so the mayor and I were both sort of right. So the TCA code 8-17-103 provides that each county has to come up with and draft a code of ethics. And so that's what we've done. The code of ethics, our code of ethics in section 5, which was executed in resolution 607-62, mandates who the county mayor appoints. And so that is, that's who sits on our ethics committee.
All right. Thank you. All right, with that, we'll be moving into our committees. We will be adjourned until April 15th, 5 p.m.
Madam Clerk.
Commissioner,
You ready?
1 second. Do we need time to switch? Are we all good?